In Wuthering Waves, there is one weapon type to rule them all. Its users range from the blind to serial killers all the way up to God himself. The mighty sword. I was looking for a bit of a challenge, so I made an account with one goal in mind. I would beat all of Wuthering Waves using only sword characters. That includes Whimpering Wastes, Holograms, and Tower of Adversity. And as of July 8th, I can finally say, I'm Rhinne, I'm the best Wuthering Waves player in the world, and this is the story of how I beat Wuthering Waves using only sword characters. The list of sword characters by the end of this account totaled 8, more than any singular element. Those characters include Brant, Camellya, Cartethyia, Changli, Donjin, Rover, Sanhua. We did, however, run into an issue. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I missing someone? Part of the challenge was that this account had to be free to play, and half of the characters I just named are limited. Having started this account nearly a year into the game's life, I'd be pretty low on ash rate, so considerations had to be made. I would just barely have enough ash rate to get every character that I needed, so they would all be S0. Now, obviously that itself is not a problem. I've been in the game using level 70 S0 characters before. What was a problem was that given the nature of the characters on the account, I would only have the funds to pick up one signature. Brant and Cartethyia have the biggest discrepancies between their signature and non-signature options. Cartethia's signature has a unique HP substat, as well as a broken passive that gives her 12% HP, 8% defense ignore, and amplifies damage taken by targets by 20%. Obviously, that's super broken on an HP scaling character, equating to a near 30% DPS increase over a free-to-play options. Brant is even more egregious. His signature is the most broken in the game. It's an energy regen main stat weapon that gives him 48% basic attack bonus and 8% crit rate to the user. This weapon has an unethical 40% damage increase over his free-to-play options. And the worst part is, I couldn't take either. Those weapons only benefit themselves, meaning by pulling one of their weapons, only one of the 3 teams I have in tower would get stronger. That would just be a mismanaging of my funds, so I went for something a little bit more universal. Red Spring was their signature of choice. Not only was it the best weapon for Camellya, but 3 other sword units, Brant, Cartethyia, and Rover, can all make good use of the weapon as well. That would help close the gap between their signature and non-signature options, but it doesn't quite get all the way. As it would turn out, gacha games really want you to pull. Picking up Red Spring also meant that my strongest Whimpering Wastes character in Camellya would also have an easier time in there, lowering the total requirements I needed to beat the game mode. Trust me, I was definitely thinking logically here, and I totally didn't pull for Camellya's signature just because she's my favorite character. It's not like these pulls happened before we knew what Cartethia's kit was or anything. Hehe. Speaking of Cartethyia, shortly before release is when I hit UL 60. For those who don't know, this is a very important breakpoint because it allows you to use level 90 characters, which is the cap in the game. I wasn't fully set on my team comps yet, so I decided to play around for a bit and see which units would work out and what synergies I should play for. Luckily, sword characters have a lot of synergies together, so I had many options. Sanhua, for example, could pair with either Brant, Cartethyia, Camellya, or Rover, so she's pretty overpowered. Rover, given their 3 modes, had the option to fill any role in the game. But given how many damage characters we already have, it's likely he would just end up as a rejuvenating glow mule on either his spectral or arrow variants. The first core I wanted to make was Brant and Changli. Their teammates are literally made for each other, and even without Brant's signature, I thought they would be able to duo one of the floors. Brant specifically has been able to solo some floors, but that's specifically with his signature and on less HP inflated towers. So we're going to start off with Changli insta-ulting Forte, and then I instantly go into Brant, use his ult, build up his stuff. This is looking pretty bad so far, I'm not gonna lie. Our damage does not look great. No, I have the damage to clear. He just can't dodge anchors. If he doesn't dodge anchors, we're chill. 72k. Not bad. I mean, we'll clear, but it's not great. We clear with Forte. Oh, wait, what? I didn't even get to use the Forte. Unfortunate. It did clear. Last time we were struggling pretty hard. I think I missed an anchor in there too. In another nice turn of events, the left tower was actually made for Consorella, which makes the boss's Havoc weak. That makes this side appeal specifically to Camellya, who I wanted to use here anyway. The middle tower was Havoc resistant, meaning she'd get no use otherwise. Donjin's insanely fast rotation is great for Camellya, one of the longest field time characters in the game. Donjin's outro skill also has great synergy with Camellya, giving her a 23% Havoc damage boost for 14 seconds. Basically, she's Sanhua at home. Boom! Floor 3 dead. Let's go to floor 4. The heavy actually builds up so much outro. I never paid attention to that because I never played Donjin solo. Or not solo. Damn. Kind of sick. Camellya actually pumps. This one actually hits harder than my main does. Unironic. 36k. Or 39k. This one actually hits harder than my main because it's level 90. No way, bro. Let's see. We just insta-forte. It dies? Surely? 3? All right. I mean, that's a clear. I'll take it. The level 50 dungeon goes hard. It cleared. I'll take that. I'm not complaining. All I see to do is clear middle tower. The problem is with our account in its current condition, I can't do that. I can raise Spectral Rover and Sanhua and do a middle tower, but I'm probably just going to wait for Cartethyia. So I think tower's stuck here. Look at that. I just need Cartethyia and we can clear tower and then we can do Weewa too. Pretty good. I figured that out of the Sanhua, Air Rover, and Yongyang that we had left, 2 of those 3 characters would fit well with her. That sounds really stupid now, given that we know that Sanhua and Air Rover are our best free-to-play options. But remember, this was pre-release, so I had no idea what Cartethia's kit was. I was going in blind. Except there was a problem. You remember how I mentioned Astrite being an issue because this is a free-to-play account? Well, I'm broke, and I definitely did not have enough pulls to guarantee Cartethyia. If I don't get lucky here, I'll have to think of another plan. All right, let's do our pulls. Oh, wait. I better be deep in pity. Oh, I just got Changli. Oh, yeah, we're fucked. Okay. Yeah, we're fucked. First pull. No. No. All right, come on. Pull number 30. Man, I do need Sanhua dupes. I'll take that, I guess. Dude, I'm not going to get an early, am I? This is pull number 50? At least win the 50-50. We're over here. We're in soft pity. Come on. Come on. If I lose 50-50, am I going to farm Astrite for the rest of the stream? Oh, God. What do I do if I lose the 50-50? This is like 80. This is like 80, by the way. Please just win the 50-50, bro. Just win the 50-50. I won't even complain. Just win the 50-50. Come on. Is it that hard? If I go to pity, I go to hard pity. Or not hard pity. I go to like deep in pity. I don't get the Cartethyia. Come on. Thank you. At least we win the pity. Thank God. If I did not win that 50-50, I was going to end the stream. On God, I was ending the stream right there. Thank you. After pulling her, I spent a few hours raising her levels and getting her serviceable echoes. Here's what we're now working with. All right, so we ended up at 3.7k HP, or no, we ended up at 37k HP, 121 energy regen, 67.3 crit rate, and 296.8 crit damage. She's on Red Spring, level 90, 44111. Her skills are pretty maxed out. I didn't get them all the way. I didn't have the weekly mats for it, and she's S0. All right, Sanhua is 1.9k attack, 142 energy regen, 73 crit rate, and 212 crit damage. Level 90 Emerald of Genesis, skills level 6, obviously level 70, so I can't get the nodes. She's S2. Rover's at 1.1k attack, 118 energy regen, 25 crit rate, and 221 crit damage. Level 1 training sword, some super mediocre echoes. You know what, fuck it, he's on spectral damage now too. You know what, I don't even care. He's staying on spectral damage, and he's got level 1 skills. And he's S1. All right, let's go clear. Floor 1 starts by ulting on Cartethyia. This both puts my form on cooldown and instantly spawns Crownless on the ground, bypassing his stupid animation and saving time. I swap into Rover, using his skill twice, then plunge attack. We then swap into Sanhua, who also plunge attacks, casting her skill, then animation canceling it with the ult. Detonate, then swap back into Cartethyia. Cartethyia uses her skill and echoes, swapping into Rover, who uses his skill twice once again. Rover's ult is cast to get me back on the ground and bypass the normal plunge attack here, and I cast his Forte as well as Bell, giving me an outro into Cartethyia. Cartethyia does her basic attack chain to spawn her third sword, then I swap into Sanhua, using her skill to max out her Concerto, followed by Heron, introing yet again into Cartethyia. Cartethyia, now fully buffed by Sanhua and Rover, should have used her plunge attack, but this was a day after release, so I'm a bit of a donkey. From this point, you basically just quick swap Cartethyia with herself. Her auto attacks and skills have super long animations, so you can actually just swap during them. Anytime I'm at the end of either a basic attack chain or skill, I just swap into the other form. Once ult is built up, I ult out, chunk the boss, and the cycle repeats itself until we claim victory. Alright, next one. Side 2 is slightly more annoying. This night mob will constantly move back, which makes him a natural enemy for the immobile Air Rover. If he moves while I'm in my skill, I can't build up my Forte without going back to the ground and using skill again, wasting the extra time that I needed because, well, Rover's still on training sword. If the night dashing run wasn't enough RNG, immediately we run into twice as much. Chop Chops have the chance to spin dash to the other side of the map, and if they RNG poorly to not stack on top of each other enough, that's even more resets. Dragon himself was pretty easy. The gameplay is borderline identical to that of Floor 1, with one real difference. If possible, I try to use the dragon's attack to abuse dodge counters. Cartethia's dodge counter is actually the best in the game, so it works out really well in her favor, especially given the many multi-hits from Dragon. 3 seconds? 2 seconds? Oh, I didn't even get the last boom. Okay, I mean, I'll call that a clear. Fuck it. True. With tower cleared, only Whimpering Wastes and the holograms remained. I wanted to prove a point to my chat about how unethical Cartethyia was, so I brought her to Dragon of Dirge to solo the boss. I talked to them about this, so I'll take a moment to tell you all as well. This character is messed up. She is way too effective. Not only is she the strongest character in the game, she also has the most options, she can tank mechanics due to being an HP scaling unit, and she's stupidly easy. Also, she can literally solo these holograms better than half the teams can play them in this game. I think a lot of people are fine with this because she's their waifu, but if you're not down bad for her, can we just agree that this looks so illegal? I'd feel pretty bad if I just played Cartethyia and soloed every hologram, so I decided to play Quickswap for the remaining ones. Okay, wait, that was a lot. I was actually going to play Quickswap for them regardless, it's just more fun. Watch me do this flirtless right now and tell me that this gameplay does not look 20 times more interesting than anything you see from the hyper carry comps. Yeah, it's 3 times harder to play, but it is 20 times more rewarding to win. Try doing Quickswap sometime, I promise it's worth learning. Oh yeah. I used Brant, Changli, and Rover to mow down hologram after hologram until each one was completed, and that left us with only one game mode, Whimpering Wastes. Given Whimpering Wastes only has 2 teams that are required, we'd only need 6 total units, meaning unlike Tower, we could actually bring full teams this time. There are some pretty obvious choices here. Camellya is one of the best characters in Whimpering Wastes, so she's being brought no questions asked. I also had access to her second best sub DPS, Sunhua. Paired with Rover, I'd have a rejuvenating glow bot. That way I could have a standard hyper carry team comp. Rover buffs everyone with Fallacy of No Return and Rejuvenating Glow, and Sunhua funnels all of her buffs into Camellya. There is a little bit of anti-synergy here. Rover wants to be swapped into every 6 seconds or so to build his Concerto, and Camellya needs to stay on field. But we can just shortchange Rover's Concerto, and it's probably fine. Our second team had a lot of options, and by that I mean we had only one real option. You already know I was gonna go Quick Swap. Changli and Brant are a guaranteed lock-in. Both of them are top tier characters for Whimpering Wastes. Brant's more so if he has his signature, but that's fine. I love Quick Swap, so I added Cartethyia in this comp just so I can satisfy my ADHD, but I don't recommend you playing this personally. Well, unless you want to have more fun. Camellya is 2.7k attack, 87 crit rate, 227 crit damage. She's on Red Spring. Pretty good leveled skills. Obviously, none of my characters have sequences. 1.5k attack Sunhua, level 70, 130 energy regen, 48 crit rate, 212 crit damage, level 70 Commando of Conviction, Moonlit. 1.6k attack on Rover, 61 crit rate, 197 crit damage, Commando of Conviction, Rejuvenating Glow. Pretty bad skill levels. I could get those up, but I think it looks cooler if I clear without it. Oh yeah, same with Sunhua. She has pretty bad skill levels too. Brant is 2.8k attack, 210 energy regen, 66.1 crit rate, and 265 crit damage. Using Emerald of Genesis R3, he's on Molten Rift, and he's got pretty good skill levels. Changli is 2.1k attack, 124 energy regen, 69.1 crit rate, and 257 crit damage. Emerald of Genesis R1, Molten Rift. Oh wait, her pieces are more dookie than I remember. What the hell? She's missing 2 crit rolls, damn. Okay. And then Cartethyia is 37.6k attack, 37.68 HP, 134 energy regen, 67 crit rate, and 296 crit damage. Emerald of Genesis. When we're Pilgrimage, I think missing 2 crit rolls? Yeah. And then both her and Changli's skills are pretty leveled. We're gonna start with Sunhua. We're on the Concerto side, so I get the extra buff on Camellya. We're just gonna insta-do this. It'll boom 1 wave. And then Camellya is so OP, she's just gonna shred through the first few waves. Pog. Going to Rover. I do some messing up. Fogger Wogger. Kind of sucks that there's a little bit of Havoc resistance on this side, but it's fine. I think our team comps are so OP, I won't have to redo this. I'm not in the middle of all of them, but I'm not going to hit them anyway, so it's fine. Why is my Concerto gen negative? Dude, everyone's over in Narnia. Dude, I hate Whimpering Waste AI. Why are these guys so far away? I'm just going to use the Forte here, even though I'd ideally save it for the next wave. Not bad. We got a 3-point-something K on that side. Could have been better, but we're not going to have to reset. So for this side, we're going to start off with Changli's skills so we can proc Molten Rift set. And then we're going to go to Brant ult, come back to Changli, ult on there, use our Forte, do some shenanigans. A lot of quick swapping. I'm going to concentrate. I'm not going to talk too much. Oh, the swap window just gets screwed. I messed up. I almost want to redo this. Big boom at the end. How much was that? I wasn't even looking at the score. Oh, they're almost as much as the first side. All it took was 3 5-stars. Honestly, killing it on the first try is kind of anticlimactic. I'm not going to lie. And just like that, I've beaten every single part of Wuthering Waves. We can finally put a rest to the Swords Only challenge. I will never touch this account again. My life is finally spared. All I have to do is complete the other 4 challenges I have. How hard can that be?